and welcome to a special edition of the Amazing Art Show. It is here already, the 2015 Youth Art Month, and we are here at the Arlington Museum of Art for the Bowie and Seguin network. And there is amazing art to check out. We've got stuff upstairs, downstairs, in the middle, everywhere. Let's go check things out. Alyssa with us, and Alyssa, you've got an awesome ceramics piece here. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, I was assigned a gargoyle, and so I didn't want it to look scary, so I just kind of did my own thing on it, and it was, just clay, and I just went with it. I don't know.
Very nice. And so you've got some very interesting, almost kind of Egyptian-looking, pieces there. Can you tell me a little bit about kind of where you came up with your concept for your design?
I just looked at a picture and I just kind of did my own twist. I put the glaze on it after it was fired, and I just wanted to add some more detail. So I used paint, gold paint, and just kind of highlighted the dragon.
Very good. And like for our younger viewers that, they're not quite getting into this detailed, and this level of clay yet, can you tell us a little bit about, I see like lots of texture on there. Can you tell us a little bit about some things that you use for texture?
I use my fist to pound it just to give it some texture. I use just one specific tool is my favorite, but I don't really know what it's called. Just have fun with it. Yeah, just make some texture. I don't know.
Very good. Now, is clay something that you see yourself continuing with? Or I also know you told me you had a couple other pieces here. Where do you see yourself going?
Just for fun, just to relax and just fun. Yeah.
Very good. So what are you going to be pursuing in college?
It's a hard one. Something great, I hope. Hopefully something great.
I'm sure it will be. Well, thanks for talking with us.
All right, thank you.
And we have the principal here of Bowie, and tell us a little bit, what is your experience of this evening? The parents and the kids and the artwork. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's just a great experience to get the parents out and then highlight the students' work. I like it as a principal because I get to meet the parents that I don't actually get to meet them sometimes, and actually see the students' finished product. I may be in a classroom and see it when they're working on it, but here I get to actually see the finished product on display.
Definitely, and probably it's also very rewarding, to get to see the kids and how proud they are of their work.
They are. They really like to demonstrate it and show everybody, and they get people outside of Bowie that are actually, praising their work and saying what a great job it is.
Very, very nice. Well, thank you so much for visiting with us. We appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
We have Melanie here from Owsley Junior High, and you've got a very nice piece here. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, yes. My teacher, Miss Layden, well, she helped me to make the piece of artwork over there. We got to choose what we wanted.
What kind of supplies did you use to complete your project?
I used oil pastel. I used pencils.
Very good. Do you like working with oil pastels?
Yes.
What do you think is your favorite part of going to art?
Well, my favorite part is that you get to make stuff and It's like really nice color and stuff.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations on your piece.
Thank you.
First off, it's gorgeous. Tell us how you made it. What was the process of making it?
We had to carve it in the shape into a block and then put paint on it and then put paper on it and then press against it, and then that's how it got on the paper.
All right. So what is that called? Do you remember?
Prints block painting.
Very good. And so you said that you carved into the block. What kind of block was it? Do you know?
It was like a styrofoam block,
Styrofoam block. And what did you use for carving tools?
like little sharp a pen, but it had a point at the bottom.
So what did you think about the whole process of printmaking? Was it something that you really enjoyed? Do you want to do it again? What did you think?
It was fun. I mean, yeah, it was pretty fun.
Pretty fun. All right. Well, I am really glad that you shared it with us tonight. Thank you so much for talking with us.
You're welcome.
And we have the beautiful Miss Australia here to tell us a little bit about her artwork. Tell me about how you made your piece.
Well, it's supposed to be leaves, but I make it look a little bit like hearts with a little stem in the middle.
I saw that. I saw that it kind of looked like hearts. I wasn't sure if maybe you did it on Valentine's Day, but you're telling me it's some leaves, right?
Yeah, we did it on fall, and I didn't know what to do, so I just did hearts.
I like it. Sometimes when you do art, it just turns into something else, right?
Yep.
Very good. And so what kind of supplies were you using when you completed your piece?
I used marker, pencil, and also crayons.
Very nice. What is your favorite thing about going to art class?
That we have a lot of fun with painting, and we get to use experiments.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for sharing your art with us. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Good job. Thank you. All right, Ellie has got a beautiful jewelry piece here, and she's going to tell us a little bit about how she made it. So tell me, what was the first thing that you did when you started this project?
We picked out the colors in the magazine.
The magazine. And were you looking for special colors, or did you just get to pick any colors you wanted?
Any colors you
Were these your favorite? These are my favorite too. And then what kind of shape did you cut it into?
triangle.
A long triangle. Very good. And then how did you get it to roll up like that?
We rolled it on the straw.
Put on around a straw. Very nice. And then I'm assuming some glue. Very nice. Now I want you to tell me, we've got Easter's coming up. We've got Mother's Day coming up. I don't know. We might have a birthday in there somewhere. Is this for someone special?
My mom's birthday.
Mom's birthday. Does she know that? Does she know that? Okay, it's our secret. I won't tell her, okay? All right, that is awesome. She is gonna love it. Thank you so much for talking with us about it, and I hope that it's a great surprise for her. All right, so let's talk a little bit about why was the neck so long?
Because it's different, and it's just how the person wants to make because they're different from other people.
Very nice. So it has a very unique look to it. Very good. And then, is this a self-portrait? Is it a portrait of you?
Yes.
Yes. It looks like you. That's how I knew that. And I'm seeing, like, underneath this hat, I think there's like a faux hawk. Is that true?
Sometimes I do it, and sometimes I just have regular hair.
I gotcha. All right. So tell me, what kind of supplies were you using when you made this?
Pencils and oil pastels.
All right. Do you like working with oil pastels?
Yeah.
Those are pretty fun, huh?
Messy though.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with us, and I like your piece. It's very original. I like it.
Thank you.
Isabel, tell me about this unique piece that you have here tonight.
Well, I decided that I wanted to do like a little bit of grass, so I drew some grass and then I colored it all different colors. So and Mr. Double D inspired me to make like little swirls and polka dots, and Jin Dine was so inspiring that I
forgot all about his masterpiece, so I just created my own, and I decided that I wanted to do something like a little bit creative, so I decided to do all of these crazy things, and that's why I chose these designs for my heart.
Very, very nice. Now, do you have some of your favorite colors in there?
Well, I do like purple and this kind of orange and the pink, and I really do like those colors and the blue.
And what do you think like about hearts? Are those kind of one of your favorite things?
Yes, like it reminds me of Valentine's Day.
Definitely. Now, are you thinking of a special spot that you can hang this at your house?
Probably it's by my all my posters in my room, by my calendar, so I can remember that my heart was in the art show.
It's a very big honor to have your art. You are already an artist that has had your art at the museum.
Yes.
Not too many kids can say that. All right, well, thank you so much for sharing it with us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Great job. Thank you. Huda, can you tell me a little bit about your piece? How did you start on this piece?
Well, I actually did a little research on the horse, and I actually like the animal horse. So I thought of doing a Zentangle on a horse because it was our assignment. So
very good. Now tell, like some of the other kids that might be watching the show might not know what a Zentangle is. Can you explain it?
a Zentangle is a mix of lines and curves, and you put any random sketches inside of it.
Very good. So lots of patterns, and then sometimes you fill it in, like with the positive, and then sometimes you leave it without anything for the negative. Very good. And then tell me, what kind of supplies were you using when you did this?
I just used paper, pencil, and markers. That's it.
Very good. Is this your first time to have artwork at the art show?
Yes.
And your whole family is here to support you. I bet they all think this is pretty awesome. What about you?
I think it's pretty awesome.
I think so too. So do you see art as something that you want to continue with? I see, like, next year you're headed to 7th grade. Are you going to be taking some art?
Yeah, I love art. Art is pretty much what my talent or something.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing your talent with us.
You're welcome.
Good job. Thank you. Marissa, tell me a little bit about this awesome ice cream cone that you have here.
Well, I really like it because ice cream is one of my favorite desserts, and I was wondering how you could make it because I like how my art teacher expresses with how you have to make it.
Very good. And I see that you've got lots of different shades and tints of a color. Were you guys studying color at the time?
Yes, we were.
And can you tell me, if you mix white with a color, are you making a tint or a shade?
You are making a tint because you are making it lighter.
And then if you mix black into it, you're making a
shade.
Go girl, that was right. You did that perfect. Okay, tell me a little bit about the very top. It looks like that is like real whipped cream, but I know it's not. So tell me how you made that.
She put like glue in this special material in it, and then she mixed it, and then you waited for it to dry, and that's how she made it.
And then sprinkles and everything.
Yeah. And there was a dot for the cherry, and then the sprinkles, I think it was just like paper cut out. And
very cool. So tell me, what is your favorite thing about getting to go to art?
My favorite thing is that you get to learn about different things of how you didn't know how to make it before.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for sharing your art with us. I appreciate it, and congratulations for having your art here.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you. Stephanie, you have a very unique piece here. Can you tell us a little bit about how you came up with the concept and what your assignment was and how you came up with this original design?
Well, honestly, it was just something that I found like literally in the trash. The wood pieces they were just wood. They didn't have paint. They were just not cooperating together. But when you put them in a specific order, it would look like a boat. And when I did it in such a way, it reminded me of the people who were running away from the Vietnam War, the refugees. And I want to pay homage to that and show respect to those who have done so, they have risked their lives for it, and also those who have lost their lives for it, which is represented by that one person at the very back of the boat.
Very nice. I love that. And so this was just some trash that you found. So this is some recycled art. How important is it for you to be using recycled pieces in your, I think it's interesting that kind of your theme and then that you've used recycled pieces.
Well, I mean, I think mostly all of my art is used by recycled pieces, and it's just really important to show that art is not just something made out of like a masterpiece. It's from the dirt, it's from the ground. You have to get dirty with it to make it work.
Very, very nice. Well, thank you so much for sharing it with us. Now, tell me about this.
Oh, this? I am the president of our school's National Art Honor Society. So we are going to have our inductions today. We have 15 more minutes until it actually starts. So.
Very nice. So how many people are you inducting?
I'm not actually sure about how many people are arriving, but so far a good 15, 20.
Nice. That's very nice. Well, congratulations, and thank you so much for sharing your piece with us.
Thank you.
Naomi, tell me a little bit about your piece.
So my theme for the whole year is pretty much the good and bad in people, and that everyone has their bad side and their good side, and everyone's the same, and everyone may act the same, like different, but everyone is the same inside, and they all feel the same. And my drawing right here, I have a happy person, him happy, and then on the other side I have him sad. And then there's another one over here. I'm not sure if you can see it too well, but he's yelling, but they didn't get it all in there.
All right, and tell me, what did you use to make this?
I used watercolor and a little bit of watercolor pencil.
Nice. Is that a medium you like to work with?
Yeah, it is.
Very nice. Well, thanks for sharing it with us. Carlos, tell me about your piece.
Well, basically, this is an individual in a society, right? These are the different aspects that affect the person. Now, what I'm trying to get across here is with all the circuitry, it's as if the person is being programmed into that society by thinking how the society thinks, how much the society impacts people themselves, how religion, how all the popular things, basically any sort of media, anything can affect how the person thinks within that society.
Okay, and then, and so I see, okay, so we've got the world is here, right? And then the head.
We see a person in a specific part of the world.
Okay, I gotcha. Very nice. Okay, and so is this kind of one of your common themes? Do you like to think about how the outside affects the person inside? Is that one of your themes?
Yeah, I like to. It's more than that, really. It's I like to discuss how the things in society, how they affect people different ways. I like to describe the common issues people face every day, and I like to describe how those things changed people.
Very nice. Well, that is a complex thought that you're trying to get across, but that's an awesome way to do it. So congratulations. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Elaine, tell us a little bit about your piece you have here.
I did a scratch board of seashells and on the beach.
Very nice. Is this a theme that you got to pick, or is it maybe one of your favorite places, or how'd you come up with it?
Our teacher had us choose, some pieces of paper, or we could look up on the internet, and I chose this one.
Very, very nice. And so for our younger viewers that may not know what a scratch board is, can you tell them what it is?
It's basically a black board where you scratch away, and the black will come off and white will be at the bottom.
Very good. So you're working with positive and negative. So you kind of have to think backwards sometimes.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part, right?
You have to figure out how you're going to do the shading and how it's going to look.
Very nice. Well, it's a gorgeous piece. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you.
Thanks. Zach, tell me a little bit about your torn paper collage that you have here.
So pretty much what it is, it's like a bucket of apples, and I took like 3 days to just tear all this paper up, and I just put a layer of glue on it, and it's just winged it pretty much.
All right. And okay, so for our younger viewers that aren't quite sure how you would do something like this, when you're looking through the magazine, you were looking for what?
I was looking for different shades of like the brown, the orange, and the green, so I could get like the shadows and the stuff for it. So, and it's like if you step back a little bit, the farther you step back, the more it actually looks like a painting or something, or a drawing.
So it's one of those that you have to view from a distance, which a lot of collages are.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Is this your first time to have artwork at the art show?
Yeah, it's my first art ever, pretty much.
You're looking pretty proud. Are you feeling pretty proud?
Yes, I was like, yes, I finally did something good in art.
Oh, I'm sure you've done other good things, but you know, I mean, it's hard for the teachers to choose because there's lots of stuff to choose from. Well, I think you did an awesome job. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
No problem.
And we are back for round 2. We have got Arlington and Lamar networks, and we're here to check out some amazing artwork, and hopefully we're going to grab a couple artists on the way. Brian, tell me a little bit about your piece that you have here.
Well, I was trying to show that the spirit of Halloween is all about like joy and scaring people. So I thought that I would put like a little bit of flames on the doors because, well, I really like flames, and literally I just put a weird-looking bat roasting a hot dog, and not that kind of hot dog. As in a actual dog. And I decided that it would look a little cool if there was like smoke coming out of one chimney and a tomb, and like the pumpkin breathing fire and fire coming out of one chimney.
Very nice. What kind of feelings were you having when you were drawing this in class?
Well, I was kind of feeling a little weird about it because there's this friend named Grace, and she's a really great artist too, and I thought I couldn't keep up with her, so really quick I thought that, well, I really like this, that I could put like some zombies rising out of the ground and like a dead skeleton dinosaur trying to get a egg from like the prehistoric whatever age.
So it was like a competition then. So who won?
Well, apparently I still think that Grace got the invitation, but I'm still very glad that I got to have my art put up as my haunted house because my family and my dad right over there in the black jacket really loves Halloween. And at the Halloween time, we had everything like spooky everything. And when we were doing this, and he was hanging up the decorations for all Halloween for a party, I thought that I could go with some like a creepy bat, a fire-breathing pumpkin neck right at the step of a tomb, which is right now. Once I first drew the tomb, like I really thought it didn't work, but now that I'm here and I can see it more often through the 15th, and now I can kind of see like a little like tomb pizza cheese, because if I colored in right there, then it would look more 3D, like with the coffin and the door of the coffin, like.
Well, very nice. Well, thank you so much for sharing so much with us about your picture. I really appreciate it, and congratulations. Susan, you have an incredibly happy looking piece here. I think it's just as happy as you are to be here. So can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, it is something that I made it from the art class, and I put a little something on his face, so you will show it's a sun, and it has the blue eyes because my best friend's eyes is blue, and also so the edges is red and the sunshine is orange, so it's gonna be match.
Very good. And what, you were using clay for this project?
Yeah.
Was it your first time to work with clay?
No, it's second time.
Second time? Is it one of your favorites?
Yes.
What do you think is like your favorite thing about getting to go to art class?
Well, yes, this is, I like to make something.
You like making things. That's your favorite part. Very nice. Well, thank you so much for sharing it with us.
You're welcome.
Patricia, tell me a little bit about your awesome piece of artwork that you have here.
Well, I made it we started with drawing it, and then we traced over it with glue.
Glue? What's the glue for?
It's like, so when it'll be easier to color, like with the chalk pastel.
Kind of helps keep you in the lines?
Yes.
So it's like raised up off the surface?
Yeah.
All right. And then tell us a little bit more. How did you come up with your color choices?
Well, the teacher told us about warm and cool colors, and I was doing a pattern in my artwork, like blues and greens, light blues. Yeah.
Very good. And so out of the warm and cool colors, what's your favorite, warm or cool?
Cool.
Cool. Mine too. All right. Thank you so much for talking with us tonight.
You're welcome.
Umber, you have got a great form here. Tell us a little bit about how you made it.
First, we got a wire and we twisted it, and then we made it into the form of a mummy. So first we had the head, and then we went down the body, making the arms and the legs. And then after that, we covered it in foil to make the base, and then we wrapped the foil in gauze, and then we got to paint it if we wanted to, which I didn't because I thought it was perfect.
Very good. And I noticed that it comes equipped with googly eyes, which is always fun. All right. And so is this your first time to work with form and making shapes kind of like this?
Well, with wire, yes. But before I made some things with clay or just, mostly clay.
Very good. What did you think about working with wire? Do you like wire or clay better?
It was very different, and I really enjoyed the experience.
Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. Thank you. Charlie is going to tell us a little bit about this amazing piece that he has.
It's a cracked egg. We traced a circle and we cut it out, and then we made it go down like it's a cracked egg, and it's falling onto another piece of paper.
All right, very good. And how did you come up with your colors?
I just thought they were cool.
Those were some of your favorite colors?
Yeah.
Very nice. And then tell me a little bit about what it feels like to have your artwork displayed at the museum and all these people are walking around looking at your work.
It's pretty cool. I never thought I would get an award or anything like this.
So is this your first time?
Yes.
Very nice. Well, congratulations, and thank you so much for talking with us about it.
Thank you.
Good job. Okay, Alyssa, you have got a very unusual piece, and I want you to tell us about it. Tell me a little bit about how you made it and what you were studying at the time.
Well, we were studying gesture, and we cut out the shapes and we placed them, and we had to use only 4 different colors. And then we had people posing on tables, and we had to kind of draw them. And we used gesture to scribble, and then we copied it and we cut it out. And then we kind of glued it there.
Very good. And I see that you've got a white figure here, and then what's this back here?
It's supposed to be the shadow.
Very nice. And then you got to just come up with kind of a mosaic back here in the background?
Uh-huh, it's a frame.
Very, very nice. So did you get to be one of the models?
Yes, I did.
What did you think about that?
I think it was very cool.
It's very cool. You didn't care that everybody was staring at you, because sometimes that freaks me out.
No.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your piece. It is very unique. I don't think I've ever seen a piece like this before. Thank you so much for sharing it.
You're welcome.
And we have beautifully dressed up Brisa with us here, and she has an equally as beautiful piece of artwork hanging here. Can you tell me a little bit about how you made your art?
I made it pretty because I like the way Mrs. Randall teach me, so I kind of copied how I did it, so I made it pretty.
And what do you know what you were using when you were, what kind of paints were you using?
I didn't paint, but I colored it purple, pink, and orange.
Yeah? What is this though? This right here?
Oh, that's paints that with lily pads, but not with flowers.
Right, I got you. Very good. And were y'all maybe talking about an artist when you did this? Did y'all learn about a new artist? No? No? You didn't learn about Monet?
I don't know. I forgot.
You forgot. Sometimes that happens. It's all right. Okay, so obviously you're very dressed up for the occasion, and you brought all of your family to come and see your work. And I mean, you're kind of famous now because you've had artwork that's hung in the Arlington Art Museum, so you're kind of famous. So tell the world something that that inspires you to do your art.
Well, I love doing art, and I really want to keep on doing art every day and practice more and practice more.
That is a great idea. I think if you keep practicing, I think you're going to go far. Thank you so much for sharing it with us, and thank you so much for your beautiful dress. You just look awesome. You look like a rock star tonight.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll send it over. Tell me a little bit about your piece that you have here.
It's a Zentangle pattern, and you have to have a piece of fruit on it, so because that goes with the Zentangle.
All right, and then tell me a little bit, there's an awesome looking skull right there in the middle. How did that come into play?
My art teacher, Mr. Robinson, he, like everybody else was using the violin that I wanted to use, but so I couldn't do that because I would be like copying, so I'm the only one in my class who did the skeleton.
And look where it got you. Got you in the art show. Yeah. Pretty cool. And then what do you think about all these people being here and looking at your artwork?
I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, like I got on TV and everything.
I know, that's pretty awesome. Thank you so much for talking with us and sharing us with your artwork.
You're welcome.
Kanijah, tell me a little bit about your piece here. It's very interesting. I love all the layers. Tell me a little bit about what you guys were studying and how you made it.
We were studying shapes and our name, like how double it and the colors and the lines and everything.
Very good. And I like how you made some of them, they were overlapping. Very good. And then some are like far off in the distance. So that's just all the letters of your name over and over and again?
Yes. And the L of my last name.
Oh, very good. And what kind of supplies did you use to make this piece?
Water paint. Yeah. Green, purple, red, blue. Yellow and orange.
Very good. And were you mixing any colors, or did you just have them all there?
No, mixed it. I just put it in the paint and rubbed it on there.
And what's your favorite color up there?
Blue.
Blue. That's a good one. That's my favorite too. Thank you so much for sharing your piece with us. Scarlett, amazing artwork. Can you tell me a little bit about how you made it and what artist you were studying?
We were studying Vincent van Gogh, and we made it with crayons and oil pastels.
Very good. And I see you've got pumpkins, and then there's another layer, and then kind of something far off in the background. Why were you doing that?
Because it made it look really cool with all the layers and more going on in the picture.
Very good. And I see with your oil pastels that you didn't just color it in like normal. Tell us what you did.
We did little marks with the oil pastels of different colors, and each spot around it filled up.
Who else did that?
Vincent Van Gogh.
Very good. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
You're welcome.
Maggie, tell us a little bit about your very interesting piece that you have here tonight.
So a few weeks ago, we were given pieces of cardboard that they were using for the play, and we were told to layer them. And so I think there are about 3 layers to this, the bottom layer, and then the second layer is where I picked out the eyes, and then the third layer is where the nose is. And then we were given a piece of tinfoil, and we were told to lay it over the cardboard that we had glued together. And we had like pushed it in the crevices and like in the eye holes and the nostrils so that the 3 layers had stood out more. And then we went over it in paint to make it look more antique. So.
Very good. Okay, so the cardboard was like all one piece, 3 layers thick, or you glued it all together?
It was 3 different layers of cardboard that we had picked out.
And it was like one piece though?
No, it was 3 different pieces.
Okay, and so you like glued it out, and then you came up with your other layers there. All right, very good. And you've got some other pieces here. Is this your first time to have art at the art show?
No, actually in 2nd grade I had 1 or 2 pieces in here. So.
Very nice. So you're a return guest. Awesome, very nice. And tell me a little bit about how is junior high art different from elementary art?
I love the art teacher a lot more this year. He definitely gives you a lot more freedom to do art projects. Like you're given an idea of a project and you just have so much more freedom, and it's not just one thing that you're drawing. You're like, say you're drawing a portrait and you just go and you have so much fun with it, and you get to be totally free and creative of what you're deciding to do. And I don't know, I just like it a lot.
You like the freedom of it?
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
All right. Brendan, you've got an awesome piece here. Tell us a little bit about how you made it.
It was really simple. It's just I had to find the airplane in a magazine. I don't know what the magazine was called, but I think it was a Times magazine. But once I found it, it took me about like a day or 2 to draw it out, and after that, I just get like brown and green marker because they didn't have like different shades of green, so I just used brown to color it. And then like they didn't really have like a good background, so I just did my own background. And everybody else finished with their pointillism, and then I'm like, I was the last person to finish, and since I was the last one, it was really good enough to put it right here.
Great art takes a lot of time, so that's why you got it in the art show, I'm sure. And so did you kind of like do a little pencil sketch, a light sketch of your airplane and your idea, and then you started doing the pointillism?
Yeah, I did the pencil sketch like you said, and then after I did the markers.
Very good. And you were talking about how you didn't have the different shades of the colors, and so you would use other colors to mix in with it to kind of blend it together. What was that like?
I was like, I didn't know what to choose, so I just like the darker green. I just use brown, because like that's kind of like dark green. Like, yeah, that's all.
Very good. So what do you think about having your artwork here for everyone to come and see and admire?
I think it's pretty amazing. Like finally, like people notice something about my art. Like makes me feel very happy and excited to be here.
I would say so. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
You're welcome.
Good job. Okay. Zoe, tell me a little bit about your piece that you have here.
Well, it's clearly a lemon, but it shows the values of lemon. And I guess that's it.
Very good. And how did you make it? Like, what were you guys studying when you decided to make it? And then tell me what you used to make it.
Well, we were studying the value scales and like the textures you can use, and then we used a magazine, and we put it all around the painting.
Very good. How many magazines do you think you had to go through to get all of your pieces?
4 pages, maybe 5. It was so many.
Lots and lots. I teach elementary school, and when we try to do this, they like don't get the concept of covering the whole thing, and they go, it takes so long. So what would you, being an artist that now has your artwork displayed at the art show, what would you tell the younger viewers about taking their time to do their art?
I would tell them to like try bigger pieces. That might help a lot, and make sure your artwork's neat and good. So.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for sharing yours with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alita, you have a very inspiring piece here. Can you tell me a little bit about how you came up with the project? Was this like something you just came up with on your own, or was it a teacher-led kind of project? Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, our project was about doing about Martin Luther King. So I look at like in the computer, and I saw this picture and just did it.
You just did it. And what kind of supplies were you using when you did it?
Colors, pencil, and that's it.
Okay. And was this your first time to try to do like a portrait of like a real person, like from you looking at a photograph?
Yeah, it was like kind of difficult for me, but well, I just did it. I was like, oh my God, this is my first time doing a person. Like, it was cool.
Very nice. What do you think about having all these people checking out all of your art? How does that make you feel?
Great. I feel great about like they're looking at my picture and everything, what I did. So it's great.
Jordan, tell us about this unusual piece that you have here.
What the feeling is supposed to be representing is in the corner you see this figure that's dark in the middle, and it has this white aura around it. And it's talking about, I call it draw the dark, is because it's talking about how this person has finally released all the emotion out of them, and out of it is coming all the destruction to everything. And this carousel horse, this face is starting to come away, and all the background is starting to be dissolved into like nothing. And it's like talking about how like this person has finally been freed of everything, and they're becoming who they are.
Very, very nice. Now, is that person you?
The person can be anyone. The person can be anyone who's overcoming something, as long as they feel it in their heart that they need to let it go and let go of everything. That's why I put the carousel thing or the carnival thing, to show like there's this joy, but this person can't feel it, so that's why they're releasing everything to feel it.
Very, very nice. And tell us a little bit about what medium you used.
The whole thing is made of chalk pastel. It was very difficult to work with because I had to use it in powder form and then paint it on with a paintbrush. So it was a lot of brushing, and it took a long time to complete.
Very, very nice. Well, it is an awesome piece. I love it. Thank you so much. And I love the bow tie.
Thank you. I make it myself, though.
I love it. Thanks. Okay, Kelsey, very emotional piece. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I did it with chalk pastel, and it's actually a picture of me jumping in front of a sunset, which my sister took for me. And I did it with chalk pastel. And there used to be a tree here, but I took it out. It was a composition decision.
I like it. Very nice. So what kind of feelings were you trying to portray through your piece?
Like, kind of how small we are. Like, it's supposed to be kind of like infinity, you know, and how like small we are. I was supposed to be a little bit smaller, actually. So, but like how big the landscape is. So that's kind of what it was supposed to represent.
Very nice. And is this your first time to have artwork at the art show?
It is.
What do you think?
I'm really excited. I have 3 pieces. I have that one, the face over there, and then the eyeball.
Very nice. Well, hey, for your first time, you did a pretty good job getting 3 pieces in. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your piece with us.
No problem. I really like your dress.
Thank you. And they have moved your art front and center. We're right here where everybody can see. This is a wild piece. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, this is our postcard project that we did, and my inspiration was the ocean, actually, and the project was of how we would create like a location like we could run away to and like, you know, live there. And so I wanted to do the ocean. And so I created this octopus and the shark fighting the octopus, trying to, you know, I guess kind of a good and evil type thing. And the octopus, on it. Like,
Which one is good and which one is evil?
well, the octopus is the good one because it's more bigger than the shark, and the shark is trying to take over, the utopia almost. Like,
Okay, and then tell me, tell our younger viewers, how you made these pieces and kind of how you started and how you came up with your piece.
okay. Well, I started off by making a slab, and the slab is just a rolled out piece of clay. And once I did that, I had to create a hole to where I was going to make different pieces that were going to let the air escape so it won't explode, basically. And I created the tentacles by rolling up pieces of clay and then pressing them down on the side and making sure they'd secure. And making the water, I used my finger and pushed into it to make it look like waves. And so it created that kind of texture of water. And then this is a glaze called Deep Olive Speckle. And it's a green that's really beautiful. And yeah, I love it.
I love it too. It's a very unusual piece. I think one that you should definitely display when you get it home, for sure. Thank you so much for sharing it with us tonight.
It was nice meeting you.
You too. Okay. Samantha, you have a very interesting piece that you're going to talk to us about. Tell us a little bit about how you made it and kind of the story behind it.
Okay. It is a pinch pot, and then you take a coral and you just wrapped it around, and then you had to personally make the snake head, and then you had to make a hole in it. And then as you painted, I had to start from the bottom, and then I engraved a name for my uncle. There's two kinds of grass, like there's the light grass and the dark grass. And then for the snake, I had to paint the stripes on personally, and that took a while.
Very nice. Okay, now, I'm not sure of the significance of Mike and the snakes. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Does he like snakes?
My Uncle Mike is kind of like a biker. He is full of body tattoos, and one of them are mainly snakes.
So he's very fond of snakes, which is very unusual. And so this is a piece for him. That is very, very nice. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
John. Hannah, tell us a little bit about your ceramic piece you have here.
Well, it was our vessel project that we did, and I wanted to do something a little different, and I wanted to bring out more earthy stuff. And I thought it'd be a really good idea to do a mushroom ring, like in the fairy tales, and how fairies come and take little children away, really. And I thought it'd be a really good idea, especially with all the opportunities to use different glazes and stuff like that on everything. And I don't know, I'll probably stick stuff in it later.
Very good. Now, is nature something that inspires your work a lot?
Yeah, I really like just everything in nature. It's so pretty, and just walking outside makes me really happy in the sunlight, which really sucks since it's been so cold out.
It has been, and we haven't seen much of the sun, but I think we're headed over the hill for that. So can you tell our younger viewers a little bit about how you made your piece, how you started and how you made it?
Well, I started at the bottom, and I took clay and I just rolled it out into little tubes, and then I wound them together, and then I slowly formed it by just smoothing everything out. And then when I got to this area, I made sure it was really flat and made sure it dried first enough so I could stick things on it and it wouldn't bend anymore. And then I hand rolled the little mushrooms, and then I just made different kind of tops to them. And I just kind of wanted to make as much of a variety as possible since there's a lot of different kinds of mushrooms.
Very nice, and a lot of different kinds of textures. Very, very nice piece. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
Awesome piece. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, my art teacher made us take different angles of pictures, and so I had my friend made me take a picture of me against our school wall. So we used it with iPads. So then that's that part. And then we just had to use chalk. We traced it with the picture. Then we used chalk, and then we used ink to go over it. And then, so that's how I...
So when you did the ink to go over it, how did the ink not stick to everything? It just stuck in certain places?
Actually, I don't know about that part.
It just was magic. You just say it was a magical art thing that happened. All right, very nice. And so this is a self-portrait, so you're in there somewhere. Very good. It's a very kind of mysterious piece. Do you think of it as being that way?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. And what do you think about having your artwork here for everybody to see?
Awesome feeling. Didn't know it would go this far. So, yeah.
It's pretty cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing your piece with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We are back for our last installment here at the Arlington Art Museum for our Sam Houston and Martin networks, and there is yet again amazing art for us to see. So many great things. Junior high, high school, elementary, just awesome. Let's go check it out. Shelby, tell us a little bit about your piece that you have here at the museum tonight.
Well, the piece I have here is made out of pen and ink, so you sketch it first, and then you go over it with a whole bunch of different markers and pens and things to make it kind of pop and stand out, and you just get creative with it, and it's a whole lot of fun.
Awesome, and tell me a little bit about the imagery that we're looking at.
The imagery was collected from 3 different magazines, and we all had to collage it onto a sheet of paper, and I was weird that day because it's babies swinging off a building.
Okay. All right, and so 9th grade.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit, what has your experience been like going from junior high to high school, and what's the difference been?
The difference has been that it's a lot more fun. There's a little bit more freedom in high school than you do in junior high, just like moving up in any other school level. And in the art program specifically, you get to work with a lot more mediums. So it's a little bit more challenging, and you get to learn a little bit more about what you're good with.
Very good. And so when you get an assignment, is it kind of like this is our general idea that we're working towards, and everybody kind of picks their own medium?
There's normally a specified medium in which we have to use, but other than that, it's normally just free will, do what you want, and have fun with it.
Very good. Well, it looks like you're having fun with it. Thanks so much for talking with us.
No problem.
Good job. All right, Royce, you have a very unusual piece here, but I love it. Tell us a little bit about what it means and kind of how you made it.
Well, it's basically a kind of a collaboration of like backgrounds. Just a blank piece of paper that's like that's just colored with one color, or it could be colored with more. We just pick a simple object, and then we just draw a bunch of different lines, like to make kind of an illusion, I guess. And you just put all 3 of those together and just create one piece.
All right, very nice. And is this your first time to have art at the art museum?
No, it's not. I've had art about maybe a couple years ago, back when I was like in 6th grade.
We're glad you're back. Thank you so much for sharing your piece with us tonight.
No, thank you.
Mary Cruz, this is a beautiful piece and very lot of likeness here. I could definitely tell that it was you. Tell us a little bit about your picture and kind of what inspired your idea.
Well, my teacher first told us that we had to do a portrait about ourselves. And I was like, well, I have never done a portrait before. This is my first portrait. And pretty much just the light inspired me. The light and the rose, because he handed me a feather rose. So that rose inspired me to draw even more realistic rose.
Very nice. So this is your first portrait that you've ever done?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So whenever you guys started this, did you end up gridding off your paper, or how did you kind of start the project?
Yes, we first started grading the paper. The first original picture was 1 inch, and then on here we put it with 2 inches, so it expanded the picture.
Very nice. Now, is art something that you see yourself pursuing as a career?
Yes, I do.
What do you want to do? What do you want to go into?
Maybe some more portrait stuff, or maybe something in the computer.
Very nice. Well, this is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you very much.
Good job. We've got an awesome piece here, April. Tell us a little bit about how you made it and how you got the shape and all that.
Well, I started off by blowing a balloon and putting paper tissue and putting glue with it. And after it dried, I got colored paper, tissue, and I started tracing the squares and how it did. And after that, I got paper, regular paper, white paper, and I made a little bit of rectangles and I glued it to the lantern. It's called a lantern.
Okay, so on your lantern, I had no idea. So you drew all of the black lines and the designs that are in black that we're looking at?
Yes.
Very nice. That's awesome. Have you ever done any kind of sculpture work like this before?
No.
It's your first time? Is it your first time having artwork at the art show?
Yes.
What do you think about everybody here looking at your work?
I feel really proud of myself, and I want to also thank Ms. Smith, my art teacher, that she gave me some ideas of what to do.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for sharing it with us, and I'm sure that your art teacher really appreciates that.
Thank you.
Good job. We have moved on up to the elementary level, and we're here at Moore Elementary, and I have Ava with me, and Ava is going to tell me a little bit about her art and how you made it. Do you remember?
First, our art teacher wanted us to cut out shapes that were primary colors. Then we used secondary colors to make more shapes. And we did biggest to smallest. And then he wanted us to use primary and secondary to kind of mix and not mix.
In the background?
Yeah, in the background. With pastel or crown, I kind of forgot. And he also let us use a black marker to trace the shapes. And we used
like little pattern pieces?
Yeah.
Very nice. So how do you feel having all these people here to look at your artwork? What does it feel like when you see everybody walking around and they're looking at your work?
It feels really great. Like, I've always wanted my art to be in a museum.
Well, you did it in elementary school. That's a pretty big accomplishment. Very nice. I love how you layered all of your pieces, and I love how they go from big to small. It really gives the illusion that they have a lot of depth to them. It's very, very nice. Thank you so much for talking with us about your piece.
Thanks.
Very good. Tamala, tell us a little bit about your vase that you have here.
Okay, so when first I folded it, then I made the shape on one side, then I cut it out, and I traced it on the window so it can be easier to see. And then after that, I did a design that Mr. Coles let me, and then I put the oil pastels on the side and smeared it in the middle to get a new color. And then at the sides, I made up just different graffiti.
Very nice. I love it. It's beautiful. I was wondering how you did such an awesome portrait there, and that's a really good trick, isn't it? Putting the image on the window.
Yep.
Yes, it really is.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about what is kind of like your favorite thing about going into the art class?
That I know we're going to do something new every day.
Very good answer. I like it. Do you like art a lot? Is it one of your favorites?
Yes, it is.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for sharing your art with us.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Good job. Javier, tell us a little bit about your art. How did you make it? Do you remember, did you cut little pieces out and glue it together?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. And who is that up there? Is it you?
Yes.
Awesome. Very nice. Well, thank you so much for showing it to us. I enjoyed looking at it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Up, 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 high on the ceiling is some beautiful art of yours. Can you tell us how you made this?
Well, I use paper and Mod Podge and glue it to the balloon, and then you pop the balloon when it gets all dry. And then Miss Dewitt, our art teacher, she took a picture of me and then she put it up there and then string to tie it to the balloon.
Very nice. What are these little images that are on your balloon? They kind of stick and pop out off of your balloon. What are those?
Cheetahs and giraffes and trees and bushes.
Very nice. Was this a cool project to work on?
Yes.
It looks like it was. Did it take you a long time?
Yes.
Yeah, lots of days, especially to dry, right? Yes, but how about that Mod Podge? Messy?
Yeah, it got on my hands, it was sticky. I had to go wash it off a couple of times.
Very good. So tell me, what is your favorite thing about going into the art class?
Well, my favorite thing is about making stuff a lot.
You like making stuff? Me too. It's pretty fun, isn't it? And sometimes you have to get dirty, right?
Yeah, but that's the fun part of it.
All right, thank you so much for sharing your piece with us. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Good job. Christopher, you have an awesome cat here. Can you tell us a little bit about how you made it?
Well, I started to sketch it first, and then I traced it with Sharpie. And the things I used to color it was paint, markers, and crayons.
Very good. And how did you come up with your patterns and what colors you were going to put where?
Well, I looked at the markers and crayons and see which one looked best together, and I wondered if they were look together. So I tried them out and I see if they look together. So then I stick to it.
Very nice. Now, all of these people are here and everybody's walking by and they're checking out your artwork. How does that make you feel?
Excited and appreciated.
That's a very good way to put it. I like it a lot. Now, is art something that you think that you want to continue doing?
Probably I will do some and then see if people like it. So,
you know, sometimes you have to just keep making it. And you're going to have some people that will like it and some people that won't. And you just don't have to worry about the ones that don't. And you just keep making it. If it makes your heart happy, you just keep making art, okay?
Okay.
All right, thanks. Grayson, way up high here, you've got some awesome work you're going to tell us about. How did you make it?
It's called radial symmetry. And the way you make it is you start with a little circle. You start adding more and more, lots and lots of details. And a good thing to make it very artistic, detailed, lots of that. Start making them small, very small, put lots of them around and around. And also, when it starts getting wider and wider on the edge, when it starts getting wider and farther to the edge, you start making them bigger and bigger. So then it'll look cooler and cooler.
Very good. Now, how did you keep it where it always had the exact same pattern all the way around? Is there a little trick to it?
The easiest thing to do is to fold it where it's a rectangle, and that make it square, and do it on, like, say you have a square and you put lines through it with folds.
And then you open it up and then you can see the next side, right?
Yep. when you see the lines, you know exactly how to put it. So then you don't mess up or have to restart or anything.
Very nice. Well, so what do you think about radial symmetry? Is it like one of your favorite things to do? Will you do it again?
Probably.
Do some a little at home, maybe?
Maybe.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with us about it. You did a great job of explaining it. Thanks.
Okay. You're welcome.
Landon, really awesome piece here. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, I had, when I was making this, I had thought of my family, so I had thought that this right here is going to be me, and this right here is going to be my mom, and this right here is going to be my dad's mouth. And so when I was thinking about the t-shirt, I was thinking about how wearing like a button-down t-shirt, and so I had put some buttons, and I had like designed it with lines right here. And then when I was making this, I had a box, so I had put a box right there. And then so we got to make it with blue, white, and black. And so I had made some colors out of those.
And do you remember what it's called when you use just one color, but you use different tints and shades of it? I'll give you a hint. Monochromatic, right? Very good. And so the only color that you got to use was
blue, white, and black.
Okay, and so you would use the blue, and then you would end up mixing the white, and it would lighten it up for us. And you've got several other pieces here. You must really love art.
Yes, I like art. Like, I've been doing art ever since I was in 3rd grade.
That's a long time to be doing art, and you're really good at it. You got lots of really awesome pieces here. Thank you so much for sharing your piece with us. I appreciate it. And we have moved down to junior high. We're in the basement, and we're checking out the artwork down here. And I have Angie with me from Bowles, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her artwork. So tell us a little bit about how you kind of first started off and how you made your owl.
Well, I'm a big fan of owls, so I just wanted to do something that I liked. So that's how I came up with it. And then it's like I like things that are really colorful, so that's how I started coloring it with different colors and stuff like that.
Very nice. And then I see that there's like a grid line here. Is that purposes just decorative, or was it like to help you kind of grid it out and draw it?
It's kind of like to grid it out, yeah.
Very good. And then is this your first time to have art at the art show?
Yes.
What do you think about all these people here checking out your work?
It's really fun. It's impressive for all the artworks that are here. Yeah.
Makes you feel pretty proud, huh?
Yes.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for sharing it with us. It's a beautiful piece. Thanks.
Thank you.
And Min is going to tell us a little bit about this beautiful weaving that's got all of these gorgeous colors that are all mixed in it. Tell us a little bit about how you started this project.
You start by mixing the cool and warm colors to get a good contrast, and by mixing the paints you add salt so that it crystallizes, and then you cut them into different strips that form a pattern, and you weave them together.
Very nice. So for our younger viewers that may not have done this process, so you see like lots of spotty places and kind of where it feathers out, and what is that?
Those are the crystallized watercolor pieces, as you might say.
Right, so it just kind of sucks up the color. Very good. And so is this your first time to do a weaving?
Yes.
What did you think about it?
I thought it was pretty cool. It was a good experience for my grade level of art.
And is art like one of your things, like your passion, something you want to follow throughout your life?
Yeah, it's definitely one of them.
Is it a career choice?
Possibly.
Very nice. Well, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your piece. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Good job. Okay. Rachel, tell us a little bit about your print that you have here in the show.
It's supposed to be an angel. I did it by we were carving out some kind of board, and then we put some paint on it, rolled it out, and then put it on the paper. It was actually pretty hard than it seems, because sometimes it doesn't come out right or fully as a picture. So, yeah.
Very good. Okay, and so how hard was the carving?
It was pretty hard because you had to make sure not to cut yourself, and there was you had to cut away from yourself and not toward yourself. But sometimes I had to cheat a little bit, and yeah. But yeah, I'd have to say it was pretty hard because sometimes when you wanted to do the deep cuts, you had to cut really deep just in case you messed up. So Yeah.
Very good. And then do you guys have a press that you ran it through, or was it just kind of rubbing?
No, it was more, you got like a paint roller and then you just took the paint and you rolled it across there. Yeah.
And then when you pulled your image, did y'all run it through a press, or you just laid the paper on top?
We laid the paper on top and just rubbed it.
Very nice. And you were talking about how, sometimes it's unpredictable and you end up with, things you weren't necessarily, betting on. But obviously your art teacher thought it was a very attractive piece. And sometimes, like your mistakes can be a really good thing. So now that you're here and you've seen it, what are your feelings about it now?
I feel very accomplished. I actually didn't know which one it was going to be, and to see that it's this, it feels good. It feels like I actually accomplished what I was trying to do.
Well, great. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you. And we have Linh Nguyen here joining us. And Lynn, there is so many exciting and awesome things happening with fine arts. We've got all kinds of exciting news. Tell us a little bit about, what all's going on.
Right. Angie, AISD is a place for fine arts right now. Coming August, we will open our first Fine Arts Dual Language Academy. In 2018, we'll open a Fine Arts Center. And then we're going to be competing in VASE, or kind of our UIL for art, come April. And so we're very excited about what's coming up. We have a lot of things for kids, a lot of opportunities for students, and we're so very excited about it.
And I hear that we're teaming up with a lot of other businesses within the community. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. We're very fortunate to have many industry experts in Arlington. We're going to be partnering with the Amon Carter, the Kim Art Museum, UTA, UNT, the Arlington Museum of Art, to get their input on providing the best quality programs for our kids in regards to facilities, curriculum, and projects for our students in the future.
That is awesome. It's really neat that we get to collaborate that so much on our new projects like that. And we are wrapping up our last show. And so this is it for us this year until next year. And so I think it's been an amazing show. Do you have any words of wisdom about that?
Seeing parents here, it's priceless. The students, their smiles on their faces, it warms my heart, because I feel that we have the best art program in the nation because of teachers, great parents, and great students. And so this is an amazing way for our kids to be expressive and to be human. And so it's been a fabulous show.
I could not have said that any better. Thank you so much. Now go out and make
some amazing art.